Well, it is 6 a.m. and it is the start of a very long weekend for us at Wylde Shrimp. First thing today, we got to get up to Ian Fuller's place. Then we're all up to Catfish Study Group up in Wigan. Epic. Looking forward to seeing Eric and Regina up there. And then tomorrow, we've got to be in Wales for an auction. So it was a case of, let's get all the driving done today. So however many hours up there is going to be, 4 hours up there I think in total, and then about 3.5 hours over to Wales after a pretty late night. So it's a hotel job, and then if I can really be bothered, we'll be in the auction tomorrow. So that is the least of the priorities this weekend, though, to be fair, because we're not selling anything at that auction anymore. It's a good place to be. The atmosphere is pretty good. You meet some nice people. And you never know, something might turn up that you really want to buy. I recently made up my mind on a fish, though, that I've never kept before. May not be a good idea for the tank mates that are going to be the primary inhabitants of this tank. But when we start resetting these tanks through 2026, I think I've made up my mind. And I doubt there will be anything like that at that auction. But you never know. So I'll try and take you along for as much of it as I can, as much as I remember. I'm also not that comfortable in having my phone out in public looking like somebody who's taking a selfie constantly, so you won't find me generally chatting to the camera very often, not in public, because it's not a good look. Well, we've made it to Fuller's house a little bit earlier than advertised, even though we were just cruising up, and I was a good boy, wasn't I? There were two other BMWs racing up the motorway, and I didn't get involved. I feel genuinely proud of myself. Even though she's a little bit broken and only 400 horsepower, the little 1 Series 135M and the M3 competition, it was so hard not to. You know, you just see them coming in the rearview mirror and you're like, yeah, we're gonna have a bit of that. Oh, we're gonna tag on the back of that. And I didn't. I'm so proud of myself. Well, we made it in very, very good time. There's Regina and Eric just coming in now. Yeah, looking forward to getting going. So it's just part of the early morning meeting. Marcin, previous sponsor of our event Fish Fate, Corridors World, the main man who's giving the talk at our event Fish Fate. And it's early doors yet. Hard night's drinking, I think, was had by quite a few last night. Rebecca Bending, Mr. Bodrock over the back there. Yeah, we're all ready to get settled in. Although, if you haven't checked out GM Aquatics, you have to check out, it's more than just food and Zis products. This beautiful brushed aluminium design artwork. These are gorgeous. Obviously, my favorite foods, these two, and Ebo as well, but this one in particular, great. The 236 Super Whites, love this stuff. Absolutely love it. But it's all Zis products. Dr. Basilia, one of the best foods on the market. I really do love the premium food as well. But honestly, you've got to check out GM Aquatics. Check out their website, because some of the artwork, some of the posters are unbelievable, and the print quality, it's unpeer. There is nothing close to it. So this is Mr. Fuller's little store that we got here. If you don't know, he's also an artist. We've got some of his artwork in our place, the CW111s and the L46. So artworks, originals and prints are available. You can check out his website, Corridors World, for everything on Corridors. But also, we've got some mugs based on his artwork. And look at them, they are just superb things. And if you want to know anything about Corys, these are the ones. Any date, published authors, world-renowned expert. you want to know where to get the best fish on earth, the man himself. Oh yeah. Water. Oh. They're even named after him. If you want the best in catfish, they are right here, right now. Oh, some money is going to leave us today. Just the most stunning. I mean, these are okay, but the amount of money I would pay for those is stupid. More baby Vulcans. Some absolutely stunning speckles. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Okay, the male will take the wool clutch of eggs in the mouth and swim away with the eggs.
Well, I appreciate and super honored to be here this evening speaking in front of all you. It's really odd to be up here speaking because I've learned a lot of what I know from everybody out there. So to be asked to speak about what I know is pretty crazy. So I was able to get a flashlight in there. If you look underneath him, you can see the eggs that he's sitting on. He doesn't leave the cave. He stays in there. He doesn't come out to feed or anything.
To be back, to meet old friends and meet new friends, and to share a little bit of the things that we do in South America and in the Amazon.
Well, it's been quite a day and it's not over yet. It's nearly 9 o'clock. We're just going back because dinner was put on, but we weren't supposed to be staying. We were supposed to be going to an auction in Wales, like I said at the beginning of this video. But yeah, we were kind of told, no, you're staying here. So yeah.
This is the only chance that you'll get to have one, or buy one. So, £25 anywhere? 25? 30? 35? 40 at the back? Any advance on £40? You're done at £40 then? Selling. Mike at the back, £30.
The lady says, we don't have the free fish, they all died. And my mom, she ain't listening to that. I'm going home with 5 free fish, right? So my mom looks at the price tags, and the most expensive fish were Corydoras peppercorn, palliatas. They were like $1.50 or something. My mom says, I want those fish. So the lady's like, all right, lady, calm down, I'll get you the 5 catfish. So I come home from school and I've got a new tank with 5 catfish, and I'm flipping out because these are huge money for me, right? Peppered carrots, peppered corys. Had them in a tank with Bimini blue gravel, pretty much that exact same color, and I was in my glory.
Okay, so let's have a look at the haul so far. It's fish day today. Now, there was actually fish day yesterday, which I wasn't expecting. There were some incredible deals, which you would have seen. But in the gizzard bags, we've got mostly food. You can tell that Marcy and GM Aquatics sponsors this event. lots of Vitalis, and lots of Evo. Excellent. Now, actual money spent. Obviously the shirts. Gotta love those. You have to pre-order those before the event. This is one of my favorite foods, and Marcin was here, so I grabbed 2 of those nice and quick. And then this one. I have adored this for a long time. It's printed on brushed aluminium, and it's just gorgeous. So yeah. Hang on. Sorry about the mess of the car. Hang on a moment. What is this? I'm not saying there was a lot of drinking last night, but apparently I won this in an auction. And I paid a lot of money for it. Okay. According to Mrs. Shrimp, this is an old CSG case with their sort of their show tanks in. So when they used to do fish shows for like little competitions and that, you would you know, you'd bring your best guppy or your best shrimp or whatever, obviously probably Corey's. Okay then. What the fuck am I gonna do with that? Oh, what am I gonna do with this? I don't remember buying this. It's definitely kids, don't drink, okay? Don't drink. Okay, so as part of all the changes that are going to be happening in the fish tanks, I've been looking at a fish, really quite loving it lately. And I don't know why. It's not a fish I've had any interest in before, but I've been looking at it on Pier Aquatics website and seeing, as we pretty much got told we were not going to the auction in Wales tomorrow. You are staying here with us. Okay. We are going to miss the first talk this morning to come and have a look in Pier because, you know, you have to. But also, there might be a couple of extras because Eric mentioned that when he was here, there was some big female Brochus Susai. And Mrs. Shrimp unfortunately lost 2 of her Susai recently thanks to a tap water issue. Yes, it's cut with RO/DI water, but never mind. It was such a severe issue that it still affected it very badly. And even though it is a very hard fish to work with, Mrs. Shrimp really wants to work with it. So we're going to go and have a look. And if these girls are as big as Eric says, then 1 or 2 of them is definitely coming back with us. And there's Neil. Time to go. So this is one of the brand new Corys, discovered very recently. There is no common name, there's no CW number, and these are the ones that I'm really thinking that we're getting a group of. Not today, but look, I just think they're beautiful. They got this sort of iridescent green on the gills, but the lighting's got to be in just the right spot. I think they're stunning. These are fresh out of Colombia. Like I said, no name. Nothing. I love them. Not usually a fan of gold lasers, but there is something about wild caught ones which just seem to be extra vibrant. I mean, I promise you there is no color modification on this whatsoever. 28 quid a piece. Yeah, maybe I do like them. These ones. So these guys, the red shoulders, big fish, and that's the only reason I don't have them, because I've never been into them, but lately, when these guys grow up, they are insane. Gotta love them. So these guys, my favorite current Cory. You've probably already seen that there was a bunch of those available yesterday at the event for £30. Now they were bred by a very, very young guy, Luke. In fact, yesterday was his 18th birthday. He was the first person in the UK to breed them, and yeah, he has 900 of them. So you can expect these to be very, very cheap, very, very soon. Just a heads up. Well, that is Pier Aquatics done, and it was quite a quick shopping trip this time because we need to get back to the convention and hear Regina's talk. And I think I'm kind of cursed when it comes to Pier. Neil finds it hilarious because the last time we went, I was looking for blue spotted ottos. Yeah, well, they'd sold out minutes before we arrived, and I was going there today for that one specific fish that I've never kept before, and they had them. But as we sat down, all the fish started acting crazy, upside down, flicking around, swimming at speeds that were like supersonic, but upside down. And I said, Neil, what's up with these? He's like, turn the light over straight away. They all settled down. He's like, give them a week or two and I'll send them down to you. Cool, no problem. So that was a bit disappointing. However, I did still come away with something that I wanted, which I wasn't planning on getting today. But with not being able to spend that money on those that I wanted, I might have spent a little bit more on other things that I wanted. And of course, Mrs. Shrimp has come away with some Susai, which we'd always planned on because Eric said yesterday that they had some big females in there, and although they are quite large, they're not as big as the ones Mrs. Shrimp has already got. But because we lost two because of the weird water issue that happened, we have now replaced those two. Well, Mrs. Shrimp has replaced those two. So yeah, I apologise the whole thing. No microphones, wasn't really planning on doing anything, and you'll have vertical and landscape, and that's because differences of platforms. So yeah, not the best video, but it's been a fun weekend, and we got to go back now and have some more fun. Right, here we go, day 2. 2 hours late because we decided to go to Pier instead, and we only really want to see Regina today. She's doing breeding tetras, of which she is amazing.
I just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity to be here with all you lovely people. This is always a great event. Every year it just seems like it gets better and better and better. So I think I can speak for all of us that the committees and the people that share in preparing for this event, you deserve a big round of applause because everything is beautiful every year. And that's just a photograph of my favorite photo cover from the CSG pamphlet. I just think that's a beautiful picture. So I'm going to talk to you today about tetras. I hope I don't put you to sleep. They make great dither fish for just about anything that we keep in our tanks. And the best part about it is there's something for everyone. But the females will of course be deeper bodied and have a larger dorsal fin. They're extremely prolific. When they go to town, they really go to town. And the fry are not problematic to eat. Just start off with the smallest foods. I spawned these in half RO and half top. So it's just a lovely fish. They're very, very active. I have not found them to bother any other fish. I keep them with cories and I've kept them with barbs. And they don't really bother any other fish. They will squabble amongst one another, but they don't bother anyone else. So if you're looking for a really pretty fish to put in a tank, this would be highly recommended.
I'm meeting like this together, so thank you one more time for having us and have this wonderful 2018 or something. We did this video, so it's very nice. It's very interesting how they live associated with a sponge. So you will always find zebra in association with two rocks with a sponge close to it, a white sponge. So, and then see a lot of silt, but they are still good, happily.
Right, so we're finally on our way back. The weekend has not been at all what it was supposed to be, but we are finally on our way back down. What have you learned this weekend?
I learned this weekend, I can see the fish that we kept from home, how we bred them or whatever. It's not the same exactly the way they actually bred in the wild. They show you exactly where they come from, how they bred them, how they live naturally, the water type, the softest different water in there was quite different from what I actually see from home. That's what it is for me. The cave example, the cave in the wild was quite different from what we got.
Very different, yeah.
Yeah, they make out their own mud, the clay, and it's soft.
But
so
also at the lower depths, like 20 meters plus, in the Xingu, there are no mud caves. So they're spawning in cracks in rocks, not caves.
Yeah, not cave. And some of them in the cave are not like what we have in ceramic. Is that called ceramic?
Yeah, ceramic. But also I think it's interesting that the impact of the dams on the Xingu has not really been as devastating for the zebra pleco as a lot of people on Facebook like to make out.
Yeah.
And that's coming from the guy who lives there, scuba dives there all year round.
Amazing. It was amazing.
The fact that they're living quite well in almost static water is a huge eye-opener for everybody there today.
And I'm learning not one thing about zebra. Zebra actually have a mate who was with them all the time.
Yeah, there seems to be a symbiotic relationship with another pleco. The name escapes me right now. But symbiotic relationships are quite well documented in saltwater stuff, you know, like the shrimp and the goby combination.
Yeah.
But it seems that there are actually quite a few between rays and large pike cichlids. There are different types of plecos that hang around together, like the zebra pleco and whatever it was, I can't remember right now. But I think I've learned one thing and I have confirmed another. It is confirmed now that you cannot go to Pier Aquatics without spending lots of money. It's impossible. It is actually impossible. You walk in there thinking, yes, I'm coming for this. Oh, for some reason, you can't have that. Well, I'm leaving with something. And what I have definitely learned, which is obviously new information, is that the guys that work for the CSG, the Catfish Study Group, are absolute bastards. They spend all day plying you with alcohol, then they launch an auction. And you wake up having spent lots of money on something you don't remember buying. So, bit of a journey back. We're going to have to stop and pay some astronomical diesel prices. But overall, it's been a good weekend, hasn't it?
Yeah. We have a good weekend.
Lots of gifts as well.
We have lots of gifts.
Yeah, which are very unexpected, but very much appreciated. And Mrs. Shrimp did finally win. They have 2 raffles, Saturday and Sunday, and she did win on the Sunday, even though the price she picked, we have no need for any of the prices that she picked, because we don't have diseases, we don't keep betters, we don't need a 500 watt heater, and we don't keep goldfish. So all of the prizes won in the raffle, chosen by Mrs. Shrimp. Not a lot of use to us, but we will find homes for them. So yeah, and I think in about 3 hours for us, about 4 hours, because we'll have to get the kids home and settled as well, but in about maybe 10 seconds for you, you'll see what we came away with. I'm really thinking that we're getting a group of. Not today. These are the new guys. And according to Pier Aquatics, these are new species. So new, there's no number. But The shops kind of have to go on what they're told. However, after purchasing these, took a video to Ian Fuller because we were going back to see him anyway. Left the fish in the car, went back to see him, and he went, oh, there's C3, C003. And with it just being a C and not a CW and a very, very low number, these will not be new at all. And in fact, known about for a very, very long time. Daccharis. So Dacchari now in the Hoplosoma. So Hoplosoma Dacchari essentially, or Hoplosoma species Dacchari. But yeah, so luckily he also had an art print of these, so we had to buy that as well. So unfortunately we do have two species in here at the moment. We got the Vulcan CW111s, which are a lot more shy. And then we have the new guys, which are or are not C3 Daccharis. But either way, they're beautiful.